Well, hello internets, here we are. We got a little bit of a vlog. Some thoughts are going through my head once again. Things I want to share with you. And, well, it is what it is. And yeah, welcome to our vlog. So, here we go. Well, we had a couple of nice days here that has come and gone. And I really wanted to get out and clean up the trailer and do a few things in preparation for the camping season. However, I didn't quite make it that far. I've been struggling once again between the weather changes and weather changing back and forth, as well as stress brought on by kind of my own doing per se. It hasn't been a very fun couple of months. My brain wants to get things going, get things set up, and my brain thought I would actually be out camping already. And even though it's still, -5, -10-ish at nights, I would still be camping, and I really wanted to get things together and good to go. But my body says, no, that's not going to happen. You have to go slower. It's still too cold. You're not going to enjoy sleeping in the cold at nights, much less being out during the day when really it's only, +10, +12 during the day. So I been staying close to home, trying to keep from going too terribly crazy, trying to keep going and rolling one step at a time. I feel this spring a lot like I felt in the spring of 2019. Even the cold and flu type of thing that I had in the spring of 2019. It's not quite as heavy as it was in my chest at this time around. However, the base of it is there, and one of my biggest fears or worries that I will go back out camping this year, do a 10-day or 20-day camping run, and then I'll be messed up for the next 6 months, just like I was in 2019. And however, you can't live your life in fear. You have to get out and live a little before you don't get a chance to live again, right? I've been under a little bit of mental stress, self-induced or whatever you want to call it. I've been doing research on my route that I want to take. I have a specific location that I want to go to, and a very small budget this year to do it all in. So small that I won't be staying in any campgrounds, because you're paying $45, $55, whatever it is per night, and that will take up a substantial chunk of the budget that I have left. And then don't forget about the probably $300-400 in fuel that it'll probably take to do the driving I want to do. So between not staying in campsites and trying to plan my route efficiently, I've been, kind of overstressed. Every little town between here and where I want to go, I would love to be able to stop at, to spend the time to stop at and do. Because every little town has a cemetery or a memorial plaque or old buildings or something that would be interesting to film. However, do I spend 2 or 3 days getting where I'm going? Or do I get where I'm going within, 5-6 hours? and then spend a week where I'm at, and then work my way back home if I feel like it. You know, sometimes it's not necessarily about the destination. It's about the journey. It's about how you got there. That is the fun point, the fun part. Some of my biggest memories of 2019 wasn't necessarily the museums that I seen, or the waterfall that I stopped at. It was the bears on the side of the road, or it was the waterfalls that were falling out of the rock faces that I couldn't stop at. You know, it was the blue water that I drove past. You know I've said this before, but I've never seen that color of blue water in my life. Most water I see is green or brown, or other colors, but never that beautiful glacier fed type blue, so clean it makes you want to drink it kind of water, right? You know, if I plan out my route the way that I've got it written in my phone here, I think I have already 150 stops already in that one route alone. And that's not even deep dive research to find out the towns I've missed. That's just the towns that I've skimmed over and seen while searching and planning the route around other loops. And given the way my strength and stuff is, if I hit it too hard, then it's not going to be super fun. But given the way my brain is, I want to make the most efficient use out of my funds without feeling like I didn't do it justice. I don't have regrets again about my 2019 trip. However, it would have been nice to have took longer, being able to enjoy the sights more, and I don't want to make that same mistake again. Flying through a small town that took you, an hour to get there and shot 5 minutes of footage is not very productive use of the money, right? And given the way things are shaping up already this spring, the museums are going to be closed anyway, so that eliminates 2 or 3 of the stops that I have on my list. And most of the places I want to go are open 365 days out of the year, providing you can wade through the snow, which the snow will be gone for sure by then, hopefully. And for those areas that aren't super accessible, I'll use my judgment whether I want to hike in or leave be. No real major timeline. I have 2 months or 3 months before my next engagement to get this trip done, so there's no real big push per se to do everything in a week or something. So I might just start out. I might only drive an hour or 2 on the first night, stay in the nearest Walmart parking lot, drive another hour or 3, stay in side of the road somewhere, or one of the roadside turnouts or whatever, and then go on from there. And whatever comes first, the end of my journey or the end of the funds, then that'll be the plan, or the excitement for the year, I guess. I've already got in my head what I would like to happen next season. I'm trying to save the best I can, put away things the best I can. I'm thinking about having another sell it kind of sale. There's a couple things that I've hung on to from the house that I don't know if I'm really ever going to use. I kept some of my smaller woodworking stuff that were expensive, but given I live in an apartment, my opportunities to use these woodworking tools are very limited. You know, my stuff is kind of kicking around, and I've been staring at it now for the better part of a year in this new apartment, and I'm very much considering selling it just to get out of my hair, raise some funds, you know, feel a little better about not being so far behind on the things that I would like to buy to make my next couple of years that much better, you know, more comfortable or more easier to do, right? And there's sure several ways of doing things. There's the cheap way, using something that may or may not be intended for that purpose, and hope you don't get in trouble. Then there's the proper law-abiding, legal way of doing things, that if there ever is an accident, then you've got the right item that you can say, well, it's properly contained, it's not going to be a trouble. And you know, how do you plead ignorance when you know darn well that you knew going into it that there was the wrong way, and you cheapened out by going the cheap way. But I guess that's kind of the choices a person makes, what side of the line they want to cross, or what side they want to live on. Do they want to play it safe? Do they want to live dangerously? Do they want to cheat the system or take those risks? And can they really plead ignorance and pull it off if and when something happens? And can they live with themselves for the rest of their lives to know that some of their poor choices may have resulted in somebody else's injuries or death? So really, what is a few more $100 really, when it comes down to it, to do it proper and not to have that guilt or worry that you have to deal with? And you know, as for me not making super use of my time or the money that I got saved up, then, well, it is what it is. There will be another year where I can double back and loop back through that area to catch the towns that I couldn't do this time on the limited funds that I have. So there's really, in the grand picture of things, it's really not worth worrying about. It all works out the same in the end. To sit here and stress out about something that you really don't have the power to change is counterproductive. And to sit here and stress about minute little things that really aren't going to matter, you essentially put fuel in your truck. You know where the fuel stops are along the way. You get a little bit of food to last a couple of days. Make sure your cell phone is charged, and hit the road. And if it takes you 2 or 3 days to get to where you're going, then you had a good journey. If you drive it all in a day, then hey, you made some good time. I guess it is what it is, and around you go. And as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's Vlogs. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.